Hello, welcome back. I'm not in the best mood. I had a pretty devastating Knicks loss last night. So, anyways, we're moving past that. I really wanted to talk about one of my favorite movies of the last year, which was Past Lives. I really like movies that have a lot of action, a lot of adventure, a cool main character, an interesting villain, a new world. This movie has none of that, and I love it because of that, not in spite of that. There is really no villain. It's just a story about three people and their journey in the world. I thought initially it was going to be like an emotionally explosive, expressive drama, and it's a lot quieter. It's a lot more expressive in small moments. And I was really interested as a filmmaker to sort of study that kind of stuff. So today's episode is going to be presenting information through story. Spoilers for Past Lives. So early on in the film, we see Na Young, our main character, living in South Korea, and they're discussing changing their name. And that's a really important moment because she's leaving one world and then entering a new world. And in that conversation, there's something that she sort of keeps behind. I feel like it really splits the character into two different worlds, which is kind of what this story is about. And so in South Korea, she's Na Young. In the Americas and eventually New York, she's Nora Moon. We see that they have arrived. I don't know if they expressed where they were leaving to until you see them arrive. Yeah, you don't see where they are until the immigrations and customs. They walk past it. And she's sitting there through the immigration desk. So their parents are like checking out passports and making sure they have all the proper documentation. And this is done very quickly and very beautifully. But it is presenting you information. They are landed in Canada. They have to deal with immigration because this is an immigrant story. 12 years pass from when she arrives in Toronto, and now she's in New York. And it starts with this really great shot of New York and through a cab, and I can just feel that it's like coming from JFK, and driving into the city is one of like the great joys after leaving New York. Coming back, driving into the city is one of the most beautiful feelings, especially if you've lived here for a long time. And the camera pans, and now we see Nora Moon. I thought that was really cool. And then the story kind of begins. So the Skype sounds, the kind of technology that you see, I certainly was kind of wondering, what year is it? And none of that information actually is really important. But for somebody like me that's kind of a nerd about that kind of stuff, I'm trying to place as it's happening of being like, what year is that? I remember that sound. I remember how Skype used to do that. I don't know if Skype still does that because I haven't gone on Skype in a minute. Skype really, lost a 3-1 lead there. Okay, anyways. And there's this really wonderful montage of them getting to know each other. Eventually, Nora asks for a break, and she takes a trip to Montauk for an artist residency. There's a long process of her trying to find her room, but when she finds her room, and she's standing there in her room, and she notices something over on the wall, she immediately grabs a pen, and then begins to write Nora Moon, 2012. That kind of information is presented to us for a reason. The wall tells us that this place is important for writers. It tells us that there have been writers for such a long time here. And the year is given to us at the end of this arc of Hai Sung. I think it's Hai Sung. Is it Hai Sung? I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong. I fully copped to not being able to pronounce, the wonderful characters' names as fluently as they do in the film. This comes at the end of her and Hai Sung's romance and introduces the new romantic partner, Arthur. We meet Arthur. They have this great connection. And there's this really funny moment where she kind of like gives him a very deliberate kiss me look. And I think that that's like very funny. Okay, but smash cut to 12 years pass. And there's only ever 2 of these kind of informational things. 24 years before, 12 years pass, 12 years pass. And so we know it's the year 2024. And the first thing we see is Arthur and Nora now they're at the immigration table. I thought it was very smart to put Nora's journey early on through the eyes of a child in immigration, and now as an adult through the eyes of immigration, telling us. If you've ever been in a customs line, they ask you these questions and they're very quick. And I thought it was very smart to bring that back in to say, okay, well, let's catch you up. They're both writers. They were there for 10 days for the family, and they're married.
We're married.
For the rest of the story, we kind of see what happens with the trio there. And so as in terms of presenting information back to back, I thought that was a really good way of presenting it through the story. When I think about writing exposition, I'm always kind of thinking about this kind of stuff of being like, where can I bring something I want to say into the story visually? How can I bring elements of space, of place, of character, of motivation? And Past Lives does that really well in a number of ways of visual storytelling. I just wanted to point out the ones that are more the technical side. During the montage, as they're fading away from each other, the cameras really emphasize that point. Even the final shot, you know, as the kids are leaving, so Haesung's going that way, and Nora's going this way. And at the end of the film, she walks him all the way back this way, says goodbye, walks all the way back up over here, and then goes up. For some reason, I think that kind of visual messaging really hits for somebody like me, because I think that I often think about how I want to present my characters, how I want to present the shots. Is this going to have any foreshadowing? Is this going to have any callbacks? Can characters, can color, can movement be integrated into the story? And if so, how? Can systems be integrated into the story, like writing your name on the wall or going through customs to tell you that they are in a committed marriage? Can one character speak a language and the other character respond in another language? Can say something about their love and where they are? And I think Past Lives does a great job of all of that. The other thing I love about this film is that it's filmed right around where we live in the East Village. The opening scene of the bar is at one of our neighborhood spots, which was really cool to see. A lot of the streets that we walk on. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. Celine Song's direction and writing was fantastic. The music was amazing. Performances were so stunning in the way they portrayed masculinity, in the way they portrayed drama. I just really loved it. Let me just see what I put it on Letterboxd. So here's my Letterboxd review. We're going live, which you can follow me here. What did I give it? I gave it a 4 stars. 4 stars? That seems low. We're going to update that to 4.5 stars. I think this movie does a great job of grabbing you and telling a beautiful story afterwards in a way that is interested in details, but not that interested in the details. Please follow me on all of my channels. Bing, 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 bing. Like and subscribe and share it with people. I really like making these videos. I don't really do it for the views or anything. I just do it because I want to have something to say, and if somebody can take something and learn from this, or even just enjoy movies, I think that that's worth putting in a couple hours just to make these videos. I've got a lot of things I want to talk to you about. I want this channel to be about a wide variety of topics, but my main interest is film. I hope you stick with me. I hope you share it. And I hope you watch some movies and listen to some music and have a good time out there. Boop.
Hello.
Hello,
My name is Nora. What's your name?
my name is Michelle.
How are you, Michelle?
I'm fine, and you?
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 I'm